quick change faceplate on a snub, just to chuck right in the 3-jaw. That way I can have a quick 4-jaw set up. We got a nice 0 on the face, and we got it leveled out, 0'd on top. So everything's on the same plane. So once I chuck this in, I could basically take this as a flat surface if I want to butt something up. Same thing on the OD. It's really close. 4-jaw chucks do not care. I centered that really well is to keep any vibration and any out of realm play going on with the lathe as we're running. Just got to turn this down, shorten this up, move it in. Here's finished product. We got everything moved back. We got the flange turned down, snub shortened, and we've still got a nice 0 on the face, right around a thou, maybe half a thou. The OD is a little out, 3 thou maybe. That's not the end of the world. Try and crack it loose, see if we can keep the same 0 every time we toss it in. So, repeatability's there. I can take it in and out many times I want and still be within reason. Everything's gonna get dialed on that 4-jaw. Everything's working out, and this should work and be a whole lot faster than unthreading my large chuck and threading on a faceplate and mounting that 4-jaw to this faceplate. I've got a good 0, good face on this. I don't want to mess that up. So we'll keep this set up here, avoid this until the future. If I ever go with a bigger 4-jaw, maybe I will mount it on this, or I do have a blank faceplate that can get machined and a bolt pattern put in and threaded on. But for that little 4-jaw, that's going to work out really nice. Here's our final product. This is a very small chuck. There's my hand for reference. Started out with a piece of just round bar and a piece of plate. These both came out of the remnant section of the local metal supply store. And I went ahead and turned down this shaft so that I can chuck up here. Now in the future, if I ever need to, I can chuck here as well. But for now, we're going to chuck here. That way I can keep this face on the back side of the faceplate just as close to the chuck as I can. There's no need to let this hang out a mile and use all that room and risk all of the harmonics that you get when it comes to turning stuff. Sometimes when you are the engineer and the machinist, you do happen to miscalculate. I should have left this back just a little bit longer. I was going off my weld and not my bolt heads. So I went ahead, took the lathe tool and just turned those down. If it ever has to come off, I will just back those off with some vice grips and we will replace the bolts. But bigger problems have been had. We TIG welded the round bar onto the faceplate and everything turned out really nice. I'm able to chuck here, have nice repeatability within a few thou. At first, I did have a really nice 0 on the OD and the face, just as far as 0-0 across the board. Now I've got, a thou or two and a couple thou up top. Only reason I did is because originally this step was out here and this was solid. That would butt up against the chuck and 3 jaws would close down and everything stayed nice. I went in and I put in a new face and things get just a little bit skewed. Not the end of the world. And I could have, I guess, cracked these loose and readjusted this. Absolutely no need to have that tight of tolerances. I got lucky before. That's how it should be. And even them couple thou are not the end of the world to me for what I am doing with this. So as far as a small lathe, this is just 10 by 24. Works out really nice just to have something quick. Thing is very tiny in the scheme of things, but mostly what I am doing is taking a 4x4 piece of aluminum plate with some studs Chainsaw cylinder goes on. I can adjust the squish band side with the jaws, and I can adjust the base side with some nuts here, and I can level that out, plane that out, and I can go through and cut the squish band. So that's all I'm doing, nothing special. It'll be a useful little tool. Before, I was just chucking right on the chuck with my 3-jaw and putting reversible jaws in, chucking on the OD. Chucking on chucks is not a good practice to have, so this is my solution.